All right, let's jump right in. We're talking about India's Republic Day, a day that's just bursting with color and patriotism. But what's really fascinating is that behind all that spectacle, there's a powerful story about democracy, the rule of law, and what it really means to be a nation.
And that's the big question, isn't it? You see the incredible military hardware, the vibrant dancers, the jets streaking across the sky, but what's it all for? Well, it's not just a show. It's actually a massive celebration of one single, incredibly powerful document that forms the very foundation of modern India.
And what a celebration it is. I mean, the main event in New Delhi is this grand parade down the historic Kartavya Path. You get these stunning floats called tableaus from every state, each one telling a unique story of India's amazing diversity. Then you've got the jaw-dropping Air Force flypast. Talk about precision. And woven into all this is a really important ceremony that honors citizens for incredible acts of bravery and service. It's like seeing the entire nation in a single snapshot.
Now, to really get what Republic Day is all about, we've got to rewind a bit and look at two super important dates. You know, a lot of people mix up Republic Day and Independence Day, but they actually mark two totally different and equally crucial steps in India's journey. This timeline really tells the story. So, India gets its freedom on August 15, 1947. That's Independence Day. But look closely. The final date is January 26, 1950. That means for almost 3 whole years, India was a free country, but it didn't have its own official rulebook. January 26th is the day that rulebook, the Constitution, finally kicked in. And that date wasn't random. It was picked to honor the Purna Swaraj Declaration from 1930, which was the first time freedom fighters demanded complete, no-strings-attached independence.
So think about that for a second. Winning independence was step one, this absolutely huge achievement. But for nearly 3 years after that, India was still running on laws left over from the British era. The next, and maybe even tougher challenge, was for India to sit down and decide for itself. Who are we, and what are the rules and values we want to live by?
And that brings us to the heart of it all, the creation of the Indian Constitution. And let me tell you, this was no small task. It was an absolutely epic undertaking, a process that would become a model for so many other countries breaking free from colonial rule. To get this done, an assembly of some of the country's most brilliant minds was formed. You had the Constituents Assembly, with Dr. Rajendra Prasad as its president, and the incredible Dr. B.R. Ambedkar leading the drafting committee. Their job? To write the rulebook for a brand new nation of hundreds of millions of people. No pressure, right? And just look at that number. Let it sink in. It took almost 3 full years of painstaking debate, argument, and careful drafting to finalize this document. Can you imagine the sheer dedication it took to build a democratic framework for one of the most diverse places on Earth? It's just mind-boggling.
Okay, so let's tackle the most important word of the day, republic. Because the Constitution didn't just write down a bunch of laws. It fundamentally changed everything about how the country was governed and who really held the power.
It's actually a pretty simple but powerful idea. In a republic, the ultimate power lies with the people. The head of state, the person at the very top, isn't a king or queen who's there because of their bloodline. Nope, they are chosen, elected by the citizens.
This chart here makes it crystal clear. On one side, you have a monarchy, where power is inherited. On the other, you have a republic, where power comes from the people. By choosing to be a republic, India made a monumental shift from a system of subjects to a nation of citizens.
And this is the moment it all became real. On that historic January 26th, as the Constitution officially came into force, Dr. Rajendra Prasad took the oath as India's very first president. That was it. That was the moment India officially became a sovereign, democratic republic.
So Republic Day isn't just celebrating a system of government. It's so much deeper than that. It's a celebration of the promises and the core values that are literally written into the Constitution, the very soul of the nation.
And right at the very heart of that promise are these, the fundamental rights. These aren't just nice ideas. They are legally binding guarantees given to every single citizen, protecting their freedom, their equality, and their basic human dignity. This list here, this is the bedrock of Indian democracy.
And here's what's so brilliant about it. The Constitution is a living, breathing document. It's actually been changed over 100 times to keep up with the times. But, and this is the crucial part, its basic structure, the core ideas of democracy and fundamental rights, can never be changed. It's built to adapt without ever losing its soul.
So beyond all the history, beyond the parades, Republic Day is also an invitation. It's a day that asks us to pause, look past the celebrations, and really think about our own role in all of this as citizens.
And that leads to some pretty tough questions, doesn't it? Questions we have to ask ourselves. In our day-to-day lives, are we truly honoring the spirit of the Constitution? Or are we sometimes taking our rights for granted, maybe even misusing them in small ways that weaken society as a whole? And that reflection has to turn outwards too. We have to look at our leaders, at our political system. Is power being used the way the Constitution intended, to bring this incredibly diverse country together? Or is politics sometimes being used to drive wedges between people instead?
Which all leads to what might be the most powerful question of all. It goes right to the heart of national identity. It asks us to consider that being Bhartiya, being Indian, is more than just geography. It's about a shared sense of duty, of unity, of rising above all the things that can divide us.
So, in the end, Republic Day is so much more than just a parade or a day off. It's an annual check-in. It's a reminder of this incredible journey from being ruled by others to ruling ourselves. It's a celebration of a document that gives rights, but also a call to action for every single citizen to think about their own responsibilities. It really asks us all to reflect on one simple question. What does it mean to be a citizen of this republic, right here, right now?